Hello and welcome to the video. Today we're taking on the Iron Lich Viscerot from Heroscape. And this big boy is going to take a lot of paint, but he's going to look good at the end. After priming the mini black, we're coming in with natural steel. And there is a lot of natural steel on this guy. Luckily, one thing I like about these Heroscape miniatures is that there's not a whole lot of different colors that you have to use on them. Again, this miniature, there's like only 3 to 4 major colors that we actually have to do. It just takes a while because this figure is very large and there is a lot of each color on him. So just take your time and try to get through them all. Now here I'm using skeleton bone, but really you can use any light color that you have. I just want to put down a base coat because I'm going to put gold over top of this, or if you were going to put yellow over top of it, since I primed the mini black, I kind of just wanted to put a light base coat on first, and this will make the lighter color that we're going to put over top of this a lot easier to put on. I'm just putting this layer on. I'm not making sure that it's nice and a solid coat. I just want to put something down that we can build on. And I am trying to be careful not to go over some of the metallic parts that we already put on. I mean, it's easy to do corrections, and in my case, I definitely hit them and had to go back for corrections, but I'm trying not to be overly sloppy on this part. Now that I have my light base on, I'm coming in with my Hoplite Gold Speed Paints. As I've said numerous times, I love this gold speed paint. I think it is one of the best golds to use for coverage. I usually struggle using gold, but for some reason this paint is just wonderful. It always gives me a nice coat, usually in one go. So I highly recommend this one. And because we put down a light layer underneath this first, this gold is just going to cover it very nicely and very easily. I know a lot of people painted this, the Lich, using yellow, and I think the pre-painted figure also comes yellow, but to me, I kind of wanted something a little bit different, and I thought maybe that the gold would go good with him. Again, it's going to take a while because there is a lot of gold to paint on this figure. He is definitely a big boy, so it's going to take a little bit of time to get through all of the different parts. I'm coming back with skeleton bone. The only fleshy bit that I see on this model is his left arm, so I'm going to use this. And again, like the other ones that we'd painted, I kind of want to go for a dead cyborg looking flesh on him. I'm going to put down a coat of this purple tone wash on the skin. I think that this purple gives it a nice kind of almost dead flesh look to it. For the vials, I'm using electric blue. I like this blue. It's really bright. It gives a nice coverage, usually in one coat, and I thought that it matched the card art pretty well. Now here I used white to put like a reflective light in those vials. It's either a reflective light or maybe like an electrical current going through there. I kind of wish I did more of a straight line here. I kind of wish that I would have done more of a blurred sort of zigzaggy line coming down instead. I think maybe next time I'll try that, or if I ever go back and do any corrections on this guy. I'm going to use a glaze of Guilliman blue over the vials now, and this is going to kind of help tie everything together in those vials so that the white isn't standing out so much. This blue over top of it just gives it a bluish tinge to sort of blend them all together and make the white not be so separate. It's almost like there's a blue glow over top of that white. I used burnt red here to paint a couple of the cables. Looking at the card art, there is no colors in the cables that I could see. They all are sort of silver. To me, it was just way too much silver, and this guy just needed a little bit of color to make him a little more interesting. Now you could go all silver and there's no harm with that, it's going to look fine, but I just wanted something to help make him pop a little bit more, just add a little bit more interest to him. I'm going to use McCrag blue here on a few other cables. As I said, this was just kind of my interpretation of something that I wanted to add to him just to give a little more interest. You know, maybe the power lines or the power cords that are going to his weapons or certain sections of them. I just wanted to give a little bit more color to this guy. Not overdo it, but just a little bit of something to add to him. Highlight the golden parts, I'm coming in with Auric Armor Gold, and I'm just going to kind of do a dry brush over top of the edges and the highlights of the armor, just to give them a little bit of a shine, just a little bit more interest to look at. I'm coming back with the electric blue to dot the joint connections and also to highlight some of the cables that we had painted blue before. After I got done adding the color to this guy with these different hoses, I was actually really happy that I did. I think that they added a lot to him. They weren't overwhelming or anything like that, but they just added that little touch of color that I think that this character needed. I'm going to use Mephiston Red here to do the same with the red cables. And I'm using plate mail metal here to highlight the metallic parts on all of the armor. I'm just going over it and hitting the highlights on it or any edges that I want to stand out a little bit more. This will give it just a little bit of a shine. I'm coming in with Earthshade to do a little bit of a wash on some of the parts. Now, I am not drenching the entire model in this wash. I'm being very selective where I put the wash. I just wanted to darken up a few areas, maybe add to the lines a little bit, but I'm being a little more conservative with it this time around than what I usually am with my washes. This guy was a nice, easy miniature to paint. He just takes a long time because it's such a large miniature, but really, it's not overcomplicated. I was really happy with the little bit of color that we added to him, and I think that the gold looks really good. I'm happy that I chose to go with gold instead of yellow, but overall, he's a very nice miniature. And with that, he's all done and ready for the table. I had a lot of fun painting this guy up, and I'm really happy with the results. I hope that you enjoyed watching me paint, and I hope that this inspires you to get some of your miniatures painted up. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.